Daylight savings is approaching fast. You're either going to prepare ahead of time or you're going to do nothing. So you can either hope for the best or prepare for success. We are going to dive right into all the things that you can do to prepare ahead of time for daylight savings with your baby or toddler's sleep. And do not worry about taking notes. You can click the link in the description box down below. I have a whole guide already laid out for you. Now, the most important personality type that really needs some preparation for this change is the slow to warm up child or resistant to change. If your child does not like when things around them change, if their wake windows are a little bit different, if their schedule is a little bit different one day and they kind of freak out about it, then this is for your child. You definitely need to plan ahead for daylight savings with your child. What I like to do is plan 1 week ahead of time and then have 1 week after daylight savings or after the clock switch to kind of play catch up and let everything settle in. All you need to do, and I'm going to make this so easy for you, is pull your child's schedule 15 minutes earlier across the board. Wake up time, nap times, bedtime, 15 minutes earlier every other day. Let's say, for example, your child wakes up at 7 a.m. on Sunday. On Monday, you're waking them up at 6:45. Instead of taking a normal 9 a.m. nap, they're gonna take an 8:45 a.m. nap. And then let's say they go to bed at 7 p.m., you're putting them to bed at 6:45. You're going to continue doing this every other day until Friday, you'll be at 6:15. So then on Sunday, instead of being at 6 a.m., it's going to be 7 a.m. because we're springing forward. Some extra tips that I have for you is to make sure that you have blackout curtains, because the sunrise and sunset is going to be happening at different times than it was a week ago. Your child's circadian rhythm is going to need time to adjust. The best way to do this is to manipulate their sleep environment by creating that blackout environment. You need to make sure that it is completely blackout and you cannot see your hand in front of your face. If you don't have blackout curtains, check out Blackout Easy window covers. I absolutely love their window covers and I still actually use them in my youngest room. Also, make sure that you have your white noise going consistently throughout the entire night so that your child knows that if the white noise is on, that it is still sleep time. If you have a toddler, make sure that you are using an okay to wait clock. If you're using your Hatch, make sure that you change the settings before you go to bed on Sunday night so that your child is already adjusted in the morning and they know that if their clock hasn't changed color yet or their Hatch hasn't changed color yet, then it's not time to get up. Do not expect it to be perfect on day one. It's not going to be, so don't expect it to be. Expect it to take a week or two for them to settle into a new routine. Their entire internal system needs to adjust to this change. You've prepared ahead of time and you're going to have to do a little bit of work after the change as well. Don't mess around with their schedule. Just go straight back to their 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. schedule with regular nap times whenever you have them. You did the prep work last week, so now it's time to just stay consistent. Don't change their schedule and just keep it on the new time. Their body will adjust. It will take time. You may see some short naps. You may see early morning wake ups. You might see this, that, whatever, sleep problem, but I promise you it is just a bump in the road, and as long as you're consistent, you will get through it. Now, if you have a child who does not have independent sleep skills yet and their sleep is already all over the place, click the link in the description box down below and we can set up a call, just a one-time call. Ask me anything. I can tell you everything and let you know how you should approach this situation, because if your child is already waking all through the night and they're not getting consolidated sleep, this is going to be harder for them. So you need to make sure that your child has those independent self-soothing skills before you go into any kind of big change like this, if you want it to be as smooth as possible. Now, one more bonus tip that I have for you is to get outside as early as possible. Now, I live in Rochester, New York, and I'm looking outside at snow on the ground. It is freezing. Last week we hit like 60 something degrees and everybody was like wearing shorts and sandals like woo! That's like fake spring being like, I'm coming, but I'm not here yet. And then we go back to this like crappy winter weather in like the 20s where it's snowing, and I think we're supposed to get a snowstorm or something. I don't know, but my kids don't want to go outside. But what you could do is just bundle up and go for a little stroller walk. That might be a great thing to do with your child to get them some vitamin D and exposure to the sunlight. Not only is that going to help your child, but it's also going to help you. Make sure that you're getting that time outside, that vitamin D, and that in turn is going to help their melatonin production at night when the sun goes down. I know the sun's gonna go down when it's later, but things that you can do in your house is just dim the lights, close the curtains, and just make it as dark as possible. As much as it sucks for you, you have to do this for your child. I know that once it's light past 7 or 8 p.m. that we literally live for those summer nights and staying up a little bit later, but during this change, trust me. Just trust me. Dim the lights, close the curtains around 6 p.m. Make it as dark as possible so that your child's body is telling itself to start the production of melatonin and start getting ready for bed. That is going to help this process go a lot more smoothly for you. Don't forget to download the Spring Forward guide in my description box down below. I will also pin it in the comments. And if your sleep is a hot mess, we can get on the phone and chat about how to troubleshoot your child's sleep. I hope that you loved this video. Please subscribe for more baby and toddler sleep help, and keep blooming. Mwah!